I told Dr. Close, bro, I gotta be a part of this. You know what I mean? This give back system. You know what I'm saying?
Well, dude, and we're giving it back, dude.
You know, that's what's gonna help me. That's what's gonna help me, bro. You know?
There's a lot of like,
and I appreciate you guys being here, bro. You don't even know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you guys weren't here, bro, you know where I'm going.
Yeah, exactly. You want to talk Dr. Close to him?
Yeah, please.
So my name is Reb Close. So CCODP, we put it together in 2020, a little bit kind of just out of necessity. So my title, which I can't stand titles, mine specifically, but my title, I mean, the president of CCODP is uncomfortable to even say it. I do that well. But I consider myself really one of the boots on the ground people. So I tend to come up with a lot of the projects, the ideas. Someone will ask me something and I'll brainstorm with them what we can do. So I'm an instigator for CCODP and definitely boots on the ground. So I'm deeply entrenched in every project that we're doing right now.
Is that you freelance? Yes.
So you were seen there yesterday. That's awesome.
Can't remember anything to talk about other than they gave me a number I should call if they don't call me within a week.
We can help you with that.
I have phone.
Okay.
I'll plan on calling them. There's going to be pizza later.
So I did my training in emergency medicine and came to Chomp directly out of residency in 2003. And I picked emergency medicine because I have a really short attention span and I really enjoy giving everything I have and then kind of stepping back and realizing I've done what I can. And so that's how I fell into emergency medicine and came to Chomp in 2003 and pretty quickly realized that there was something going on I didn't understand that wasn't part of my training. And in 2006, one of the nursing leaders and I put together what we called the frequent users group. It was basically people, and this all ties in because they were people with really undiagnosed substance use and mental health issues that were frequenting the emergency department with things I couldn't do anything about. And so she and I put together this group and we would literally on an individual basis try to figure out what's going on for Bob. Why does he keep coming back to the ER? What can we do to help? How can we connect him to services? So we started that in 2006 and it proceeded, past my leaving the ER. In 2013, because of that work of starting to learn organically about untreated substance use disorders and mental health conditions, I started to kind of get an idea of what was happening in the community. And then in end of 2012, we had a 19-month-old come in the ER, and that child ultimately died of an opiate overdose. And that's when it crystallized for me that something dramatic had to change.
Transfer people, we will. Narcan, if you ever need Narcan or anything like that, we definitely got tons of that.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
You want some now?
Yeah, please.
Oh, hell yeah.
Please.
I'll go grab you some.
Please.
My name's Hector Perez. I got involved with CCODP through Dr. Close. I met Dr. Close while I was incarcerated. While I was incarcerated, I was in a MAT program, which is a medicated assisted treatment program. She was the doctor that went in there on a weekly basis. And she is the doctor that got us the medication for substance use. So I built that relationship with her for about a year and a half until I was released in 2023 in May. So my experience with CCODP is we started off, we do a lot of street outreach. We go down to the homeless encampments. We provide a medical care. We provide a doctor. We provide a medical care. We provide them necessities. We provide them hygiene, dog food, cat food. We provide them donated clothes. Sometimes we have food items. Sometimes we have butane. Whatever the homeless community needs. Not just the homeless community, but just the people in general. Whatever they need, we kind of meet them where they're at and just help them to where they're kind of comfortable in their situation.
There's some antibiotics.
Yeah, definitely.
You need a toothbrush right there?
Yes, please.
I've been homeless. I was on drugs. I've been incarcerated. But now on the flip side, now that I'm sober, now I got a job. I'm working on my education. I'm out there creating an impact on the community. And when we go out to these homeless encampments and we see some of the people that I've run around with, they see me do good. That just gives them hope that they can do good as well. And I want to be like an inspiration to them, because it's like I said, if I can do it, they can do it. It ain't impossible. It is possible for a change. They just got to be completely ready and able to take the initiative and to take the next step and being sober and actually doing the work.
Dr. Close, you have a minute? 50 cents. I had no change, JJ. Sorry. I'd like to meet Ricardo. Richard, Dr. Close.
Hi. How are you?
Okay. He's a good friend of mine.
This is the way I stay. This is my recovery. CCODP is part of my recovery. I don't go to NA meetings, so this is how I stay connected with the doctors, with my team members, and this is how I recover from my addiction. And it's helped me. It's helped me. I've learned a lot about myself, and the changes that I've seen on the street is a lot of people feel we've built a lot of good relationships, and they feel comfortable. When they see us, they are pretty excited to see us because we do provide them, stuff that help them get through their day. But I've seen a lot of changes on the street. A lot of people are more engaging in the medication, and they are getting treated for their substance use.
If you were to go to Sun Street or to Genesis House, dude, you stay there 90 days, dude, and they help you with housing, dude. You could go to Hope Housing in Marina, dude. They're taking people every day, dude. We just got to get that assessment through behavioral health.
I have first-hand experience. I have 20 plus years of living experience. I have 2 years clean and sober myself. So when I go out there and I see these people that I run the street with, they see me, I think I give them hope and inspiration that it is possible to change. I feel like that is a big benefit, because if I can do it, they can do it.
Hey. What's up? What's up? How you doing? You alright? You alright?
Especially trying to get out of addiction.
Well, it's hard, dude. Yeah, no, it's hard, but especially being homeless, it's hard, dude. But you're not dumb either, dude.
So I think Narcan is fantastic. I think we're kind of in this interim stage of solving the crisis where we're trying to figure out, what is the path we're going to walk? How are we going to solve this crisis? Mm-hmm. And I think what CCODP has done incredibly well is to elevate the lived experience voice.
Hi, sweetie. We grabbed some stuff to help for cleaning. Thank you, love.
That's so cool. Thank
you. Of course.
Wow.
The easiest, this is crazy to say, it sounds so weird, but the easiest use disorder to treat is opiate use disorder, in my experience, opioid use disorder. And that's simply because we have such an amazing medication for it. And fentanyl has taught us a lot. 3 years ago, if you would have asked me to help someone transition from methadone onto buprenorphine, I would have said it's not possible. I do it all the time now, all the time. And that was literally what fentanyl taught me, is my patients that had been using fentanyl so heavily, like needing to use every 45 minutes to stay well, their body stores were so saturated with fentanyl, it acted in some ways like methadone. So once we realized we could do different kinds of inductions to get them off of fentanyl, I was like, well, let's do this with methadone. And I wasn't the only person doing this. I actually stole some of the guidelines that I use from others in this space across the nation. And so the easiest answer is opioid use disorder. Because buprenorphine is so incredibly safe, so well tolerated. There's so many different formulations, and we have become so creative at getting people onto it. So if I get to pick, that's the easy one. And that's when I do 99, depending on the setting, % on the street, because it's so darn easy. And so effective, literally so effective. And truly kind of plug for the good guys. My patients, when they either lose their insurance or are forced off of buprenorphine, the relapse rates are insane. And one of my guys, he was buying the Xannies, right? And he was taking about 25 to 30 a day. Yeah. And he came in here, he's like, Doc, you gotta test me, something's wrong with my bars. And it's like, okay, fine. So we test him. There was not a single pharmaceutical benzodiazepine in my patient.
Structural reality of insurance.
Yeah.
When you dispense a drug for a person, it's their property.
But I've asked the patients, will you allow me to sign this over to someone else? My patients are totally on board. I offered that. Big issue, right? And I have a shot in my fridge that expired on the 28th for a guy that's incarcerated. The sheriff's team will allow the patient to be brought to me to get his shot, but WellPath will not.
I think that CCODP is really an anomaly in the fact that we are using people who have have experienced the crisis, who have lived it, to come in and say, hey, you guys have no idea what you're doing. Let me tell you how we're going to solve this. Let me tell you how we're going to reach these populations that have never been reached. And that, I think, is what CCODP has done incredibly well.
I receive such tremendous joy from reaching out to people that everybody else has said no, or that most people kind of turn away from. I tease when I'm talking with my family, they're mine. I will reach out to the people that the rest of our society has in many ways considered kind of hopeless, or I don't even use the word worthy, but that's almost what it feels like. I want to be that warm, that welcoming, that I accept you for who you are, where you are. I'll meet you in the riverbed. I'll sit down in the dirt with you. Let's figure out what we can do to help you feel better. That's what matters to me. The most marginalized in our society, I absolutely want to give them a voice and give them the care that I think they deserve.
Well, if you want, because we're going to be over there today at the lake, if you want to bring it over, I'll look at it. If I can help with anything. It's nice to see you. I like your, what is this, the dune buggy thing?
It is very important to me to continue to do what I do, because I feel like I'm needed out there, because I want to be a role model to some of the people that are out there in the community that I have done drugs with and had lived that life with. So yeah, it's very important that this work is very important to me, because I just want to make an impact in the community, not just in the homeless population, but in the community itself. My name is Hector Perez, and I want to see how to go about doing an intake for somebody.
For somebody?
Yeah, well, so I have a patient that's looking to get into treatment, and he wants to do an intake with you guys. How do we go about it? Do we just call this number? No, he's not incarcerated. He's on the street.
Okay, so what you would need to do is give this same number that you just called, give us a call on the same number, and
yeah, I have 3 patients that are pleading for this treatment. Wow. Yeah, and I've got to figure out how to get it for them. I just don't know. So we're fighting with the insurance thing to figure out how we can actually get the patients this treatment, because one ER visit is the cost of the entire thing. You know what I mean? So it's that short-sighted, long-sighted. They didn't pick this. If you go to every 5th grade class in Monterey County and you ask what kids want to be when they grow up. You know, firefighter, attorney, journalist, doctor, you pick it. It is not living on the street, stealing from my family, you know, selling all my possessions or even my body in order to stay well because I'm so addicted to drugs. Nobody says that. So stigma, I think, is probably our greatest killer because people are afraid of seeking treatment, afraid how much they're going to be judged. This is somebody's son, somebody's daughter, somebody's parent, sister. This is our community. These are the people. Can you imagine if we give them the opportunity and the resources to not have to live in that level of pain?